distinguished colleagues, Ubasani representing Torno Central. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I thank you most sincerely for the privilege to lead the debate on the general principles of this important bill. The bill seeks to impose steeper penalty for offenses in Principal Act and provide for destruction of firearms imported illegally into the country or in the possession of individuals without valid license. You will recall that the bill was first read on the floor of the Senate on the 25th November 2020. The main aim of the proposed amendment is to curtail the proliferation of illegal arms and bring the existing law in line with the global best practices. The amendment will also effectively address some of the security challenges currently plaguing Nigeria. The United Nations Regional Center for Peace and Disarmament in Africa recently reported that the proliferation of illicit small arms and light weapons in Nigeria has reached an alarming proportion. Analysts estimated that out of 500 million weapons that may be circulating in West Africa, 350 million, which represents 70% of such weapons, can be found in Nigeria. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, on the 31st of January 2017, the Nigerian Customs Service confirmed the interception and seizure of 661 pump-action rifles imported illegally into the country from China. Has such weapons escaped the eagle eyes of our customs officers and found their way into our communities that are in the grip of murderous elements, we will have had a clearly unimaginable insecurity situation. Nigeria is one of the countries experiencing some of the most devastating effects of the proliferation of illegal weapons as a result of spillover effects of the crisis in Libya and Mali, as well as unresolved internal conflicts in different parts of the country, such as Northeast, Niger Delta, and other parts of the region. We therefore need a legislation that will provide for stringent punishment to deter perpetrators of these illegalities. Objectives of the proposed amendment be: 1. To impose steeper penalty for offenses under the Act in order to serve as deterrent and strengthen the current effort geared toward control of illicit firearms inflows into the country and in the possession of individuals. 2. To establish a comprehensive and coordinated disarmament and arms destruction ceremony for Nigeria through the Office of National Security Advisor to ensure that confiscated illegal firearms do not re-enter the society. 3. To provide for stipulated time within which the destruction of the unserviceable firearms must be carried out, except where there is a valid order to the contrary, court order to the contrary. 4. To prefer an effective, coordinated, and sustained legislative strategy to address the underlying factors encouraging the circulation of arms and concurrently block the outlets through which illicit firearms are proliferated. 5. To take proactive measures in stopping easy access to the circulation of illegal arms in our communities. Conclusion. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, it is true that the 8th National Assembly made a similar attempt to amend the Firearms Act, but the bill was not assented by the President. However, with the level of commitments this Assembly has so far shown toward addressing the various security challenges in the country, you will take serious interest in this bill and give it the expeditious consideration it deserves. This bill will help in degrading the criminal elements in our communities. It will deny them of the weapons which serve as the oxygen of their operation. I urge you to support the bill. Thank you most sincerely for your attention and anticipated support.
Senator Biodun.
I represent Ekiti South. Mr. President, I rise to second this amendment in totality. Mr. President, with this amendment, this nation will be able to curb the menace of insecurity that is now the bane of the problems in our country. Mr. President, recently, maybe a few days ago, there was a video that went viral where we found criminal elements opening boxes after boxes of ammunition. And if those ammunition find their way into the system, we will be in serious trouble once again. Mr. President, this sort of amendment is what we need at this particular time to ensure that this country is safe again. However, Mr. President, I will urge that as we go through this, we look at the reasons for which this amendment was not assented to in the 8th Senate, so that we don't make the same mistakes and this amendment is passed. We need this amendment like yesterday. I believe with the passage, we will be able to also work on our insecurity more than ever before. I so second, Mr. President.
The amendment have been articulated and I wholly agree with them. But some issues have been thrown up as a result of this bill, which we have consistently agitated on the floor in the past year. One of them, because our duty as a legislature is to provide the enabling environment, the legal framework for the executive to enforce so that we have a better society. We are limited when Nigerians out there begin to ask questions, what are you people doing? Other than what we are doing here, I don't think there's much that we can do. But we must continue to identify issues that will make our society a better one. As long as we have porous borders, at that way, no matter how effective we have the legal framework, we'll continue to have these issues. As long as some people feel threatened, some groups, because make no mistake about it, it's not just the criminal elements that are buying guns. You have some communities finding their ways of buying guns for self-preservation. Why? Because they think that the Nigerian state is not protecting them. So as long as we have such grievances, no matter the number of legal frameworks that we have, we continue to have issues with such people. Because sometimes we tend to look the other way when some people openly flaunt the armaments that they have and are inflicting violence on other Nigerians. We appear to look the other way, while we go aggressively against others. As long as we have this kind of inadequacies, I think we'll continue to have issues of insecurity. So I support the bill, but I think we should, in assenting to the passage of this bill, I want to draw our attention to the fact that there are larger issues that attend or surround the issues of insecurity that we have been agitating, and once again, this is another opportunity to bring it to the fore. Thank you.
In of the motion that this bill be read a second time, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Well, let me commend the sponsor of this bill and indeed all of us in the Senate for remaining consistent on discussing the security situation in the country. And the security situation would have been far better if we were able to control the proliferation of firearms in the country. This bill, like the sponsor mentioned, was passed in the 8th Senate and National Assembly, but there was no assent. Now that we have brought it back, when it will be referred to the Committee, Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, they should engage with the executive arm of government to see where the issue is, if that has not been done by the sponsor of the bill, so that we be on the same page. But I believe that there is no compromise for stiffer penalties for anyone caught with an illegal arm. The security situation can still be reversed once we continue to remain focused and remain committed. And for us in the National Assembly, it has been a very difficult time, probably the most difficult time, because our people face these daily security challenges. And the question is always, what are you people doing? Unfortunately, the legislature is limited in what it can do. It cannot implement, but it can talk about it, discuss it, debate it, and insist on it. I believe that this executive is ready to do something to improve the security situation. And now that we are seeing a different or an improved approach, maybe the end to the insecurity in the country is a sight. Recently, of course, we have seen the National Security Advisor working with the service chiefs and others in a coordinated manner. We pray that this is sustained and that for us, we'll give them every possible support. So, this bill is referred to the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters to report back within 4 weeks. Leader of the Senate.